Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Morgan. I wanted to make this video as like the ultimate guide to starting intuitive eating, as well as answering any questions and just giving a general breakdown of what intuitive eating is.
First, I want to break down what is not intuitive eating and some of the myths that surround it.
Intuitive eating is not a diet, and it is not a weight loss plan. A lot of people get confused with intuitive eating being the 80-20 diet or being this idea of just eating until you're no longer hungry. And that is the exact opposite of what intuitive eating is.
Waking up feeling like it's gonna rain. It's sunny out, but it just comes in waves.
Intuitive eating was originally made with the intent of helping people who have struggled with eating disorders or disordered eating. It is essentially rejecting all diet mentalities and instead encouraging you to instinctually listen to your hunger and your cravings. I want to emphasize that intuitive eating is an instinctual process. For example, when you're a child, you don't care what time of day it is. You just know that you're hungry and your body needs food. That is exactly what intuitive eating is. It is just regressing to those feelings of not overthinking, not listening to any food rules, and instead just honoring your hunger and honoring your cravings regardless of the time of day, the type of food, or what society or diet culture expects. Basically, it's just rejecting all food police and yeah, so we'll get into it. So how can you start intuitive eating? The first thing, and this is one of the 10 principles of intuitive eating, which I will link down below, but the first thing is rejecting the diet mentality.
And the first step of rejecting the diet mentality is letting go of needing to lose weight or look a certain way. Sadly, a lot of mass media promotes being thin as being healthy, which is not always the case. Healthy comes in a variety of body types, sizes, and weight. It's definitely easier said than done, but just remember that your happiness is more important than always needing to look a certain way.
So let's say you're starting intuitive eating today. The first thing I would tell you to do is you wake up in the morning and you just sit there and you listen to your mind and your stomach. What are you craving? What sounds good to you in the moment? You know, I might wake up and I'll think, oh, like a bowl of mini wheat cereal sounds really good right now. Like maybe I'll go and grab that. So I'll make myself a bowl of cereal. I'll enjoy that cereal. And then afterwards, if I'm still hungry or if I'm still, craving another bowl or maybe another type of food, I'll go and I'll have that second bowl, or I'll go and make myself an extra little meal. But it's essentially not listening to any thought that might say, you can't have sugary cereal, like that will make you gain weight, like that's bad for you, like it's too much sugar. Telling that voice to just shut up and just go grab it, enjoy it, and move on. When I was trying to repair my relationship with food, my biggest goal was to just stop overthinking, to stop calculating, to stop caring, honestly. And I think a perfect moment to give you an example is recently I've been hiking a bit with my friends, and the old me, if I was like feeling hungry at like 4 p.m. in the day, the old me would have said to myself, like, the only snack you can have right now is either fruit or veggies, like you need to save yourself for dinner, like you can't eat this, you can't eat that.
Even if you aren't physically restricting yourself and that you still allow yourself to eat food such as carrots or apples, you are still mentally restricting, which can lead to binges later on.
But nowadays, it's like, if I get hungry at 4 p.m. and all we have is a granola bar in front of me, but that sounds good, I'll grab that granola bar and just eat it, regardless of any voices in my head telling me like, oh, it's too much sugar, oh, that's bad for you, oh, like eat this instead, because it's seriously all about just rejecting the diet mentality and just seriously not caring or not overthinking. The second tip I would give you, taking care to listen to not just your hunger, but also your satisfaction. There's a difference between feeling full and feeling satisfied. This happens to me quite frequently where I'll finish dinner, I'll feel physically full, but like I still want something sweet, I'm like, okay, just something sweet would just make me feel so satisfied. and then I'll go and I'll have like a little ice cream or a little chocolate, and I'll feel satisfied. On that note, I've gotten a lot of comments of people saying, well, if I ate anything I wanted, I would just gain a lot of weight. You know, I would just eat like fast food all the time or eat sugar all the time. And, you know, the reality is, if that's your process, then that's great for you. Because with intuitive eating, you might gain weight, you might lose weight, you might stay at the same weight. But the idea is to just not care about weight in general. This is your life. Your life should not have to be centered around your appearance all the time, what you're eating, like your body. Like, if anything, it should be about your happiness and your confidence. Even if you allow yourself to have ice cream every single day for a week or for a month, there might be a time where eventually the allure of ice cream kind of wears off. You're not craving it as much because it's no longer on this like pedestal of like being bad. It's almost like when you care less or you overthink less, you almost want these things less. And I'm not saying that I eat brownies less than I did when I was like in my eating disorder. It's totally the opposite. I eat dessert every single day. But the reality is, after eating a brownie, I don't feel guilt-ridden and I don't feel like I've, messed up my diet and I now need to go on a run or I now need to like restrict myself the next day. Instead, I just feel comfortable and I move on. It's like the same with having those guilt-ridden binges. When you just, if you eat a brownie and there's no guilt associated, you don't end up, binging on other things because you're like, oh, this is the last time. It never has to be a last time. You can eat another brownie in another hour, or you can have one the next day. I feel like you get what I'm trying to say. There's some days where I want ice cream. There's some days where I just genuinely don't because I know it won't make me feel good or just won't make me feel satisfied. Like, there's other days where I want French fries instead of ice cream. Like, I'll put a graphic that explains it better.
Essentially, what I mean to say is that when you're living a balanced lifestyle, not every single day is going to look balanced. If anything, some days you're going to want fries with your burger, other days you'll want a salad, and maybe even other days you'll just want a Nourish bowl. It's about what feels good for you in that moment.
Don't listen to other people's comments on what you're eating, or don't pay attention to what other people's ideas of healthy or good and bad are. Because the reality is, I've learned food is politics. Everyone will have their own opinions, and all that matters is your relationship with food and how you feel with yourself and your body. If you feel happy and healthy eating McDonald's every day, that's great. And who is anyone to tell you otherwise? Like, it's your life, And the same goes with if you feel more nourished having, more whole foods and allowing yourself a burger here and there, then that's great too. I've found with intuitive eating that there are days where all I want is just pasta and carbs, and I think that's related to like hormones and birth control. But then there's other days where I'm just like, wow, like a fat salad sounds so good right now and so fresh, like especially when it's hot out or I've been out at the beach all day, like a smoothie or something fresh just sounds so good. But it doesn't have to be a big deal in that it doesn't have to be, oh, I'm being healthy, oh, I'm being bad, oh, this is a cheat day. No, it's just you listening to what you want that day. It's just intuitively eating. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe and possibly share this to anyone who needs to hear it. But for now, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.
It's sunnier than most days. You'll never see the sky if you keep looking down. And if you take the wrong way, then maybe you should stay